start the meeting, but we don't really have a quorum to do anything. Let's wait just another 5 minutes to see what happened.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't want to cancel the meeting.
Yeah, I don't think you can have that forum, but is Emily officially gone?
Yes, so is
And
Joe.
Joe's officially gone, so half plus one is a quorum. To my understanding.
So we could be short a member tonight to continue.
Well, I'm sorry, what do you mean, Liz?
I was trying to understand what was going on. Are we missing people? So
Yes, we are missing, well, we're short 2 members tonight
gotcha.
because Joe and Emily are stepping off, their terms have expired. 1, 2,
I think you have a
3,
quorum.
4, 5, 6, 7. So we need to have 4 people.
You're okay.
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 It's really sad. It is still raining. It's raining though. I feel like we
Not about this.
Okay, well, then we have 4 people and we only need 4 people to start the meeting. So I'm going to start the meeting of the Green Space Advisory Commission. So I'm gonna call the meeting to order, and Ginger, can you take a roll?
Okay, Terry Coyne.
Here.
Here. Emily Holton is one. Jeannie Kleckner. Liz James.
Here.
Laura Jordan. Here. Joe Mulkey is. We're Jerry Pinker. Corinne Purcell. Emily Hickson Shepherd.
I'm here.
So I see you. Yvonne.
Here.
Sinan.
Here.
All right, hopefully everybody had a chance to review the minutes. Does anybody have any amendments they'd like to make to the minutes?
Well, I do think that the closing date for trees of distinction is 12/31, just because that's what's been listed in the advertising, I guess, the materials that we put out. So I don't really think it's really anything to just, yeah. I mean,
It's already
that's what
there.
it is.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Jeannie had 1 tree planted total in her yard. She was going to have 2, but the one didn't work out, so unless we've had that.
Oh, one other tree. Okay, I
Yeah.
can do that.
I don't,
Well,
yeah.
that would be part of. At that
What would
time,
be?
at that time, she only had 1 tree.
Oh, right, I gotcha, okay, yeah, if she has a second tree, it'll be discussed at this meeting, but yeah, so yeah, she only had 1 tree planted as of, for the minute, okay.
I'll adjust it. I'll adjust it.
So, I make a motion to approve these minutes.
I'll second.
Okay. Let's see, visitor comments. I don't think we have any visitors. Do you have any comments? Okay. We'll move on to old business. And trees of distinction update. Laura, do you have any updates?
Not really, I mean, there's 5, we have 5 applicants.
Great.
Nominations for this one, so yeah. Did want to ask, could there be like an IT work order in to get the email to try and figure out extracting the email addresses? Okay, yeah, thanks.
Is that so you can just be able to respond to someone?
Yeah,
Okay.
well, because I've texted a couple people and they don't have to reply, but I'm hoping that it's actually a mobile phone and not a
Landline.
landline, and like at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also kind of like maybe there's another way, but it's easier to like copy and paste.
Mhm.
Or do, yeah.
Definitely. It'd be nice, maybe next year to just change that to an online form.
Yeah, it is an online form and then it gets emailed straight to me. However, for some reason, it doesn't capture the person's email. I don't know why. And I can ask Tiara to update.
I thought it was
update
a-
that form.
I thought it was just a PDF form. It's a fillable form.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, people do both, I think, maybe some people give us maybe, but,
yeah, it
so
seems like
most
you
of them
can
are
just-
doing it online and you're
Yeah.
getting it that way.
Seems like you just have them add field for
Right.
collecting the email they'd like.
Yeah, I mean, they can put in their email, but the information isn't being extracted to send when.
Yeah,
Right.
it doesn't show
When
up
Yvonne
on the
gets
form.
it, so it seems like it's probably something that IT could get.
I was thinking maybe in January, we would begin to review those candidates.
Yeah.
Okay. So could you bring, I don't know, well, I think we had, but if you wanna. Yeah, why don't you just bring them to the next meeting?
Yeah, which is in January.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically Joe in the past, and before Joe, I selected based on our knowledge of trees,
Yeah.
like a tree to recommend. So
Right.
we recommended one to the group.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you feel comfortable doing that, or if you
Well, I mean,
wanna,
if there's only 5 trees, I don't think it'd be too much for us to look at a meeting, and if there's a lot more applicants, then I can definitely wean it down, I think, based on.
I think maybe weed it down. We've
Wean it
looked,
down? Okay.
yeah,
Okay,
cause we've looked, Ginger, you probably remember, we've had a meeting where we look at a few in the discussion. On and on and on and on
Yeah.
about.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
so I think it'd be better, I would meet
Whittle
with
it
you in a
down.
smaller group if you want, or maybe Yvonne and I could meet with you for. Just a quick Zoom chat,
okay,
if you could send us the information ahead of time, and then I think
yeah,
between your arborist skills and mine
Mhm.
and. Your skills, after looking at all these trees,
mm-hmm,
we could make a recommendation for at least one to move forward, or possibly 2 to.
oh, sure, okay,
How does
okay.
that sound?
Yeah, that's good.
So maybe we have that phone call in January.
So not necessarily before the next meeting date.
Correct.
Okay, sure, yeah, that's very doable. Yes.
And then in February, we can bring,
Bring it to.
yeah,
Okay,
I just know the holidays are coming up.
yeah.
And that way, if you have any late stragglers in
They'll be included.
December, right, and you could email us those, and then we'll work out a time to meet online.
Okay,
And then make our forwarding, observation
to the commission.
in February.
Okay.
That sound like a plan?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, the next item of old business is elections for GSAC chair position. I have not been contacted by anybody about stepping forward, and I asked Yvonne and she hadn't really heard anything, nor had Emily, so I guess I think I know that Ginger is not going to volunteer, and Laura is not volunteering to step forward. Liz, had you thought about it at all?
I mean, I had thought, oh boy, I don't have time for that. I mean, I want to, but I have a bad habit of taking on way more than I can actually handle, and I don't know. I feel like probably the least organized person in our group.
Well, Corin didn't tell me for sure, but I pretty much think he's out.
Said he was
I
trying.
thought of him as like a great possibility, obviously, but I know he's teaching extra classes this semester. I told
After the meeting last month, he said there's no way I can do
yeah,
it.
that's kind of
So
the position I feel like I'm in, but
I guess Jerry Pinkner, who's not here, and Jeannie Klockner. I don't know, do you guys have, Emily or Yvonne, do you have any advice?
Well, we should have 2 new members. Sina, did you interview some members? Did the council interview any?
I checked with Katie
Okay.
today and she said, Katie did not know that Joe was stepping out. So I updated her on that and she said they have been advertising for Emily's position. And there's one person who responded to the advertisements for commissioners, and that person had wanted to be on the Parks and Recreation Committee. So those interviews are gonna be happening in December, I think she said, like December 18th. Unless I'm mixing it up and it's November 18th, but it was in the future. So they haven't had those interviews.
Yeah, I bet it's November 18th because we
November.
usually do interviews every work session and we're not having a work session tomorrow night. So 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Okay. Put a little note out in Stream Team, which got a few likes, and that was earlier today. So maybe, I just said there would be 2 positions opening, and here's about what it entails. And then I also have been harassing a few of my neighbor friends, and I actually had someone say, "Oh, I think that I have time for that. Will you meet me this week for a coffee?" So I'm gonna
That's
meet
great.
him until it's Rory.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a possible person too. So I'm trying to help draw people in.
Do you want to postpone, Carrie? I mean, I know that you're ready to kind of take the mantle of responsibility off. Do you want to wait
Yeah,
until
we-
after the interviews wait till the December meeting and revisit it when there are more people, or do you
Well,
think?
we don't meet in December.
Oh,
Well, I was wondering that too. Ginger asked the same question I was thinking, which was, will new people really want to come in and be the sheriff in town?
They
But
do.
if there, perhaps a new person would want a chair.
Okay.
I mean, unless you're, what were you saying, Liz?
No, I was just trying to understand if you were saying they do or they don't. Because
Well, I would be, yeah, I would be apprehensive to do that. Took a few months before I said yes.
yeah. Yeah, I would think new people would want to figure out what it's all about before they would take it.
Right. Well, we can delay the election, and I feel like Jeannie would be a great candidate, but yeah. Okay, so we will push off elections till January. Emily, do you know when the budget documents are due, or the plan, the work plan for the commissions?
no, I don't.
Okay. Okay, new business. Then, the Leave the Leaves campaign. I was going to ask Corin when I got here, if he had the language that he pushed things out with last year. So I'll just text him when we're done and see if he's got that, if he has the
Like
ability to do that.
From social media or the paper
We were gonna do a Friday page push, I think.
oh yeah. Great. He
Yeah.
does a great job with that stuff.
If you could get it to me by Wednesday, might be able to get TR to put it Friday's page.
Do we have signs people can get if they want one this year?
No, we don't.
There's a box here,
Oh.
but I haven't gotten a count on how many are in the box, but there are some here that they can purchase. I think they're $7.
Okay. So it's basically
On
the
the
same
limited
as last year. Okay.
Or just come to the desk?
I wonder if we could just look for the Friday page thing from last year. Repost it.
Probably has it.
Who do we send it to? Is it Marty?
We have to send it to Yvonne. What do you mean,
I
the
think-
Friday page language?
Oh, Friday page. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Webster Kirkwood Times still, but
Yeah, the Friday page language would have to go to Yvonne or Sanan unless Yvonne is still taking primary.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure about that protocol.
Okay.
Submitted it so far,
Okay,
but I know, yeah,
He's
it comes out
using it.
every Thursday evening.
I'll see if there's, I don't think Tiara was here a year ago, but I'll see if she has access to last year's language.
I mean, I have the Facebook posts.
Well, I think the Friday pages, aren't they, archived on the webpage? Does anyone know that? No,
I don't know.
okay.
I probably have it in my file. You came up with
Okay.
it. Change the dates.
Here's the link for the city. Oh, it's there.
What does it
last
say?
Sorry.
Okay. So the webpage says, this fall, the Webster Groves Green Space and Sustainability Commissions are making a case for leaving the leaves. The benefits of fallen leaves. Where to leave the leaves. If you leave the leaves, spread the word. Download or print your own sign. You can display a yard sign if you like to demonstrate your commitment to the initiative. Yard signs are available at cost $7 while they last at the rec center. So the webpage is still good. So basically, could you,
Change a date or change a year, I guess.
well, on the webpage, I don't think there is a date or a year. I think what you could do is ask Tiara to just make a post about this page in the Friday page. So
Do you want
they'll
me to send you the link?
Sure.
oh, sorry. Say it's all out there. We just want to remind people that it's happening.
Okay.
Could you send that link to Liz too? Sure. Because Liz, could you post that to social media
absolutely
if you haven't already? And
will do.
that sound okay?
Sure.
Just cutting and
Might as
pasting the
well.
whole Facebook post from last
Okay. Well, that's all the business. That was fast. Emily, do you have any announcements or updates for us?
I don't think I have anything for this meeting this time.
Okay,
Can't think of anything.
The only thing I have is just to try to get the word out that there's pumpkin recycling at the service center to the end of, I don't know if I was taking your,
No.
okay. By the end of this week, there's a dumpster, so if you want to get rid of your pumpkin, there's a yellow dumpster at the service center. Spread the word.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's a yellow dumpster.
I was wondering, I knew about both, but I didn't put it together that that's what that was. I heard about it, or read about it, and then I was by there looking at the glass recycling and saw the yellow dumpster.
Yeah.
But I didn't put it together. So, okay. That's neat. I know.
Yvonne, is there like a little flyer or anything for that? Because I can post that too.
There probably is. I'll see if Sean can send that to me tomorrow.
Okay.
For the pumpkin smash,
Yes,
there's a city Facebook post, Liz, that you could share if you want to.
Copy it. Okay.
Yeah.
Will do.
great.
were there any, Sinan, I guess, oh, make a difference day?
Yeah,
How'd it go? I saw something in the paper
I have some really good stats, but they're on my
on your phone, okay.
But I'll send them out to everyone, because
Okay.
we have really had some good events.
Okay.
A lot of success and, Camel Bee, I think, came
Oh, yeah.
out and did a little blurb on how important the creeks and streams are.
Nice.
It was a really good turnout. I think we had 6 or 7 events going.
Oh, great.
That's awesome.
I'll send everyone a whole listing of our accomplishments.
Okay.
Great.
On a similar note, the Kirkham at Elm Culvert, we had the project update discussion today with the consultant. And our design is 90% complete, so we're about to start the implementation portion of the project, but our funding is not available until September. And so that's the replacement of that culvert of the Shady Grove Creek under that intersection. It's a major project, deep project. And so one of the things that we were looking at, Deer Creek Watershed Alliance said, hey, these culverts, the best way to do them is you don't put a bottom on them so that there is some infiltration and groundwater recharge with it. But they, our consultant said in this particular case, it's on bedrock. So we are going to still put boxes in there because even if we did not, it's almost like the Mother Earth structure under it. And so we're just building it for that purpose that way. But the exciting thing is that project is coming up. And it's going to disrupt our traffic for some time because it's going to be that intersection will need to be closed up. It's very difficult to build it in a phased manner. It's somewhat not even safe because of the amount of traffic that that intersection carries through that area.
Yeah.
But it's going to be sometimes when you let these contractors do the work, give the site to them fully, they complete it faster than otherwise that if you restrict them, the project may take forever. And so it might be a disruption, but hopefully quick. And it's going to be hydraulically an improved crossing of the Shady Grove Creek under our roadway there. So the current structure is not enough, sufficient for carrying the flow. And so the new structure that we're putting in there is not going to be as tall, but it's going to be wider and realign that creek in that area. So it's going to provide a better conduit for water to flow.
Did you say that's at Kirkham now?
Kirkham, so
Okay.
it's still Brentwood, I think there, but Brentwood into Kirkham and Elm, that the intersection with the traffic signal.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you typically? I'm just thinking about the last bridge project that didn't even happen in Webster. Were you gonna mention that, Liz?
Well, what were you thinking of Brentwood?
No, I was thinking about the project where they demoed a bridge and it was upstream.
Styrofoam.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
Brentwood.
that was in Brentwood.
All the
I just-
styrofoam went everywhere.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like what kind of, this is a big question, but like what kind of specifications or I guess penalties does the city place on the contractor or the county or the MSD or whoever are the governing bodies? Like what kind of,
Oversight.
yeah, is there? Thank you for that word.
We have
Tied into the contract.
this project, you mean?
Yeah.
So the project is actually permitted by MSD. I need to check, DNR normally regulates these types of jobs as well, but that wasn't mentioned today. There was the floodplain part in terms of regulation, so that whatever we do there, we cannot impede the water so that it floods upstream of it and such. So that's examined. MSD permits it. In terms of our control over it, we are an MS4 community. MS4 meaning municipal separate storm sewer system, and so we are responsible for keeping all our streams clean here in our jurisdiction, and we report to MSD for it because MSD is the permittee and we are the co-permittee with MSD. Some of the things like the illicit discharge and such into the streams are actually done regulated directly by MSD, but our duty is to let them know that this is happening. Especially it can't happen from our own project. We have to watch our project, make sure that it doesn't cause any such impact to the waterways. But yeah, generally the contractor selection is important. We need to make sure that these are contractors that know how to work around the waterways and such. And so, but we'll watch the job also, our consultant as well. It's a federal aid project. The DOT, the Missouri DOT will watch the project as well. So there will be a lot of eyes on it, but we need to make sure also that all that oversight is there and compliant with it.
Are the eyes like a daily thing? Because I know MSD oversaw the other one, and the styrofoam incident was not, that was reported just by citizens. So does someone come
Right.
and look at the job site every day, or?
We are responsible for, the city will be responsible for daily monitoring of the project. And we are also responsible for reporting any illicit discharge to MSD on these projects, because that's the regulation for us as an MS4 community here. And so in a way, it's going to be, a lot of is going to be up to us. We are still looking to staff up in our office to make sure that we can deliver these services. In the absence of that, if we cannot hire by then, it will be probably our consultant. Well, they will support our efforts there, but we'll ensure that they're also knowledgeable and they're following up on all these items. I mean, not only visible stuff, probably. I mean, we need to make sure that there's no sediment discharge into the river either. So, yeah, all the necessary silt fences and such will be up and checked by our staff as well as the contractor. Make sure that they're all in place.
So what is the timeline? You said September, the funding is available?
September 2025, but I asked the question, when is the good time of the year to build such a project? And they said it's not until about May, June, because they said normally it would be springtime for concrete, being able to pour concrete, and a lot of this structure is going to be concrete and cast in place concrete also. And so we don't want to deal with that in the winter time. Winter time would be perfect, but there's a lot of regulation around it. I mean, we have to ensure the strength of the structure and all that. That spring is a good time for pouring concrete, but then the river gets to be high. And so then about the end of spring into the beginning of summer generally is the recommended time frame. But for that, we will need to wait until 2026 pretty much to be able to build it. I mean, September 2025 will be when our funding will be available. We can just start the project. We might still bid it out, but then with the construction not starting until the following summer.
Is this project, is this related to the medians being removed from Kirkland's? That's a separate,
This is a standalone project, I think.
Yeah, this came along before.
yeah. What, can I just ask real quick? I think you said 4 were going away but are there 6?
I think there's the
Okay,
Seven,
which end does that start? Is it like Ford
ones at
Road?
Elm going all the way to Gore.
Elm to Door, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I mean, just for my, cause I'm just for me, not for any other reason. just
Yeah,
'cause I'm
actually,
curious.
so there's that project happening, but then there's also the Brentwood grant project that we are a part of, that city's got fundings for. I mean, those are 2 separate projects.
Yes.
As well. I'm sure there's gonna be lots of coordination between them. What's the last time I talked to Stacy Arnold, she said the city was still waiting on the award of the Brentwood grant. Is that the case?
It's
Do
still
you have
the
any
case.
update on that?
I think the problem is DNR had 3 employees retire all about the same time, so they're really at a loss for being able to give answers to people. It's a big problem.
What about an update on the MSD
On that
phase
project.
1 section that Laura was talking about? Is there?
It's my understanding there'll probably be in Lorraine Davis maybe sometime next year. But let me get a better timeline on that. But we have talked to them in detail about what can be disturbed and what has to stay. And then whatever's disturbed has to be put back in a manner that it looks like a natural creek bed.
Is the bridge at Elm and Kirkham, is that part of one of the? Was that a recommendation out of the stormwater plan?
The culvert there,
Yeah,
that's also already in the pipeline. Sorry for
Yeah.
the pun. It's just farther behind from the Elm and Kirkham one.
no, I was just wondering if that came out of the original stormwater master plan or if,
This one was more of a, I heard today, actually, they said that it was a deficient structure, structurally deficient. And I think the DOT said, no, you gotta
Okay.
do this work because there's a roadway on it and it's a federal, one of those federal aid roadways. And so they inspect those for us. And whenever something like that happens, they require us to
Okay.
take action. But then they fund it. That's a good thing. I
Yeah.
mean, 80% they fund it. In fact, on this one, they said 80% by the federal aid money, and then the rest of it is from the OMCI funding district. Deer Creek OMCI funding district has the money accrued, and so we're able to use that. And the gentleman was saying, hey, this project is free to the city, pretty much, and so
Okay.
between the two agencies, yeah.
so do you have any updates on the updated stormwater master plan?
So it's, that's a little bit of, has been a little bit of a challenge to get started. The additional work hasn't been kicked off yet. And so we're still waiting on that, trying to make sure that the monies are allocated into their proper pots for the project to start. But we're also talking to the consultant about getting it started because they already have a purchase order from us. Use up the rest of that purchase order and then get into the next one as you get there. They're a little bit particular about what they had the scope because their scope wasn't complete from the first part. If they use up this money now and we end up not giving them the next one, how are they gonna finish their original scope and stuff? I think we're gonna be able to resolve that soon and get that into the works. And so from getting it started, and they said 3 months, so it's gonna take November, December, and January to complete it, and then come back to another work session and council from there, I think sometime in February.
One more question. The Safe Streets for All.
Safe
Did you have any updates from that? I know they had a meeting a couple months ago and
Yeah.
any other.
Another one, we had another one recently in October, another task force meeting. And so it's making progress in terms of laying it all out, and there will be some contracts out for consultant help in that at some point. And so I think the team is working on that currently, as well as the community engagement part of it. I think there will be another need to hire another person for community engagement because the person that was hired, he didn't stay. So he's out. And so, but that position is kind of, right now there's somebody, Sean, is working on that kind of outside of her other role of sustainability. And so.
So that was that a specific hire for that?
It was a specific hire for that. Not the grant manager is still there, but community liaison, I think, Matthew Watson. He left, so it will be that position to be filled, I think, at some point. And yeah, they are gonna have maybe every other month task force meetings, and so there will be likely another one coming up in December.
So we can get an update in January.
Yeah,
All right.
well, Yvonne mentioned the pumpkin smash. And so there will be another container next to it for political yard sign recycling.
Oh, right.
So that's following the election until the 14th. That's the following Thursday. So Wednesday of this week, from Wednesday of this week until the Thursday of next week, and then from there it will be picked up and delivered to Sean was arranging for that today to Republic Services. So it will be right next to the yellow.
I know where it would be, which is
Next
Red.
to the glass.
well, they aren't actually. They're not next to each other.
Will it be red,
But
white, and
someone
blue?
drove up to put, I guess they put a pumpkin in when I was there and yeah, so. But I couldn't see what they were doing. And I'm like, what are they doing over there?
All right, well, thank you, everybody. I think that's it. Our next meeting is at the end, excuse me, the beginning of January.
Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Happy New
Happy-
Year.
Happy New Year. Okay, thank you, everybody online.
Thank you, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.